So basically, the main idea, the key motivation is to study the flow and virus droplet spread inside a room consisting a operating four-way condition. It's like this room and it has a four-way cone. So basically, when someone do some respiratory activity, the most of the heavy particles get settled onto the floor, but the smaller size particles spread throughout the room. And it's important how they behave in case of the flow condition in a room. Yeah. So basically, to study those kind of things, there are two methods. The first one is the ejection scale methodologies, which study how the particles will be behaving when someone is doing some respiratory activity. And another one is the room scale activities, where when someone will, like, after some activity, the particles will be injecting, and at the end, after a few seconds, this kind of distribution will be having. So the second studies are based on the end part of the ejection scale studies. Yeah. And okay. So first I will be solving the flow part, and then once I reach the flow steady state, then I will be doing the particle tracking. So for the flow, I have used K-epsilon realizable model, and for the particle, I have used fluent DPM methodology. And since the K-epsilon realizable method is a range methodology, so the outputs of this method will be ensembled average quantities. So for the particle tracking, when we need the fluid velocity, and for that, we will be missing the perturbation part because of the range methodology. So I used Langevin model to retrieve those perturbations, so that we can use those perturbations in the Lagrangian particle tracking methodology. So for the DPM, I am considering 0.1 million particles from 0.2 to 10 micrometer size, and with the 10⁻⁻⁴ second time step. And for the perturbation and the tracking equations, I have wrote some UDF to track the particles. So this is the UDF code flow chart. Yeah. And this is my computational domain. So basically, like, this is the room, and it has a four-way air cone. It has 4 inlets and 1 pressure outlet. So the room size is 10 cross 10 in cross 3.2 in height, and the flow is coming at the angle of 40 degree, and the velocity magnitude is 7.14 meter per second. So once we have the flow, so the flow will be like coming from the jet, and it will be pretty much coherent until it strike the floor, and then it will go parallel to the walls. So once we have the flow, then I use the DPM methodology. So the particles will be going out of the room because of 2 reasons. The first one is like the particles will be settled down on the floor. So this is the gravity part, and the another one is like some flow is coming in the room and it will going out of the room. So it will carry out some particles. So this is the second part. So based on that, we will have some decay rate, and the particles will be decaying in the room in exponential rate. So this figure A shows the decay rate, the particle concentration in the room based on all the particle size, and figure B shows the decay rate of all the particle sizes. So I have compared my result with the LES results as well as the theoretical results. So for here, like in the figure B, the small size particles are pretty much matching with the LES as well as the theoretical results. But when the particle size is going up, we were seeing some differences. Yeah. So this part is like when it's like infected person we consider as a source, and someone is receiving the virus as a sink. So in this section we were considering like if someone is like where should we locate a source. So then we did some statistical work, and we were able to figure out those data. And similarly in the next section we reverse the question. It's like we don't know the position of source, so where should we locate the sink. So it's like time averaging for all the possible locations, and again we were able to see that. So we can see that if someone is sitting below those four jets, then it's pretty much like that would be the best location. So for the future work, I will be studying more and trying to develop some code so that we can give some social distancing guidelines, like number of person with respect to like how long some number of person can stay in a room. And I will also be considering different room scenarios to perform some parametric study. And the current case, some like the flow is coming in the room, and when it go out, the same flow of course will come in the room, but we are considering that 100% flow was filtered, but we will also consider like if it's not the case, then how it will behave. And I will working on my thesis, and I have submitted one journal paper, and I also like visited in JSU conference. So this is my achievement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Professor Harmo's your work, very well. I give a small comment. Okay, one is that the topic is very good. Okay, because of the pandemic situation, people would like to know, and but it is very difficult problem, right? Usually, if you are focused on virus, very small, very tiny, small, but you know, some exploration, I don't know how big the particle is. Okay. But anyway, the validation is important. So you did some
Yes.
other simulation.
Yes.
But last year, this year, there's one paper published in Physics of Fluid. Okay, the German people, the DRI, did experiment using molecule. Okay, they measure the three-dimensional, so particle tracking. Okay, so it is good for the validation or something. Okay, think about that.
I will.
And now I saw the air condition, and at first you show some people are doing respiration, but later you have only air conditioner, right?
Yes. Yes.
To have would you like to combine or what?
Yeah, the idea is that when someone will do some activity, the particles will go out, and after some seconds they will be airborne. Like those are water droplets. So thing is that we cannot make some judgment based on the activity. So our idea is that after few seconds we will consider those particles, and then based on the flow we will do the processing. And one of our conclusion was that actually the social distance guidelines actually doesn't depend much on the initial conditions. So
okay. So anyway, so if you want, maybe I can give you the paper.
oh, I
Yeah. Okay. That's my plan. 하 교수님 뭐 다른 말 있습니까?
뭐 다른 건 없습니다. 저는.
예. 자, 그럼 마치도록 하겠습니다. 오케이.
예, 감사합니다.